Hello.
What's happening, brother?
What up, Wiz?
Dude, I had I had an old man nap today. It's not like I even had a choice. It's just I ate a sandwich and got my belly full, sat down and passed out. That was crazy.
Check,
How
check,
was your
check.
day today? Can you hear me?
You guys hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Canoes?
There, Wiz?
Yeah, I can hear you,
I
bud.
can't hear you.
Let me refresh.
Oh, oh, and he gone. And he back.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
Okay, good. Oh man, so how was your day, bud?
Uh, I spent it mostly in bed.
Oh,
Playing.
really?
Yeah, the last couple of days I've been dealing with migraine. I haven't slept well, so today the headache went away and I just kind of sacked out.
Oh, wow. Right.
Yeah, the weather's acting kind of goofy. It's back down in the 50s
Yeah.
and rainy.
Nice. Yeah. Ghost says he planted tomatoes and squash today.
You need to plant beans, make it three sisters. Tomatoes,
Well,
squash, and beans.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the old Indian proverb, the three sisters of gardening
Right, right. Corn, squash,
and beans. Yeah, they're beneficial to each other.
you know.
What's up, Ragged Coin? What's up, Elvis?
Yeah, no shit, man. I've been done a bunch of planting today too. I got the rest of the peas planted. I got zucchini, the rest of that row direct planted. I direct planted my okra and sweet peppers, red, green, multicolor peppers.
Do you have any hot peppers,
Oh, I've
jalapenos, or
got
anything?
jalapenos and Anaheim
Cool.
right now, and I'm gonna be working on trying to start some cayenne and some habanero. So, oh my gosh, Princess farted. Did you? Did that work? Okay. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Yeah, oh really? Again, I got done with all that planting, and I turned around and I came in, got something to eat. I sat down and just passed out, dude. Old man napped it big time. I woke up, I was like, oh shit, I gotta go to town to get dog food and all that jazz. Um, uh, oh, boy. But so you got some sleep today, huh?
Yeah, too much sleep. I had a fucked up dream. Like woke me right up. at,
Oh no shit.
like I sat right up out of bed and I'm like, holy fuck, I'm glad that I'm awake now. It was kind of
Yeah.
like it was bizarre, man. It was like I was in Game of Thrones and then it shifted into like Star Wars. It was fucked up.
Whoa. So Ragged, you're an hour early. High time is 1 hour from now. But yeah, no shit. So you had a crazy dream, huh?
Yep. Like dragons flying around destroying everything and then all of a sudden it's like a big space battle in Star Wars. Yeah, it didn't make absolutely any sense whatsoever.
Dragons versus spaceships. Right, dragons in space. What the fuck? It's 4 a.m. here, right? Yeah, it's 10:13 here, Raggy. We're your time -6. Yeah, but yeah, no. Just I keep moving the project forward, getting things done. I know. We was wondering if you was okay and everything is all right, man. Everybody's been asking about you.
Wondering if you fell in the ocean.
Huh?
Wondering if you fell in the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been absolutely beautiful here, even with the rain and stuff. It's been absolutely beautiful.
Oh, he's got an appendicitis. Ugh.
Oh, that sucks.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Oh wow, yeah, I've had that.
I've known people that have had it. It's not fun.
Well, I had it. What was it? 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was fucked up. I was in the middle of selling the house. Had all that work to do to the house, and had appendicitis surgery, and then turn around and had to get back to work immediately. 2 days after my surgery, I it repainted the entire basement of that house. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I tell you what, you know what got me through it? I didn't take any of their antibiotics. I didn't take any of their painkillers. None of their shit. I did it with for pain. I used CBD um, and the bodies from Infowars with the turmeric and curcumin, and the leaves. That's all I use for the pain. And I used colloidal silver for the antibiotic. Um, and just mega dosed my fish oil, garlic, and the rest of my vitamins stuff that I take. Doubled up on those for a week. I was over it in 2 weeks. I was back to 100% within 14 days. No bowel problems, none of that stuff. No antibiotic recovery. Yeah, that's a thing. The antibiotic regimen they put you on the wonderful medical system. Yeah, it actually requires a recovery period because it fucks you up too. But I didn't have any of that.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to be dealing with something as serious as an appendicitis over in the UK with that national healthcare system that they got over there. It is what it is for them, but yeah.
You see what Elvis put? Wiz never takes medication. Take spices, rub it in dirt, and you'll be fine.
That's why they say that kids that grow up, playing in the dirt and shit are more healthier, throughout their lives than kids that didn't. So they would, when kids pick their noses, they build up immunity to things that way.
And I tell you what, if your dog gets bit by a copperhead, turmeric, give them turmeric, a big dose of turmeric.
That'll probably help a human too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Any kind of snake bite, yeah.
Because Benadryl don't do shit for it. Only thing it does is stops an allergic reaction, a potential allergic reaction. But 9 times out of 10, dogs don't have allergies to the snake bite. They just have the effect of the poison from the venom. Elvis, I like dirt. That's awesome. Identical Hospital said it was. But I will say this: Trump was still president when I had my appendicitis, and because of Trump, the local hospital treated me instead of kicking me into the street and telling me to go to fucking VA.
Yeah. I remember when that was all going on.
Yeah. They said it was his lung.
Hello, Miriam. How you doing?
Hey, Miriam, welcome in. Fire in the bowl. Oops, sorry, premature. Gotta reload. Back. Yeah, guess what?
What?
My spicy tomato plants will be going into the garden here this next couple days.
Spicy tomato?
Yep, the OMG and barley gift and
Oh, I gotcha.
Michigan Hulk and yeah,
It's like when my dad and my grandpa, their little code for dope was tomatoes.
yeah. Spicy tomatoes.
And I remember one time because my grandpa, yeah, he knew my dad was growing a little bit of weed over here. He didn't give a shit. He's like, just as long as you don't get in trouble for it, you know.
Right.
And so if they ever had to talk about it and there was other people around, it was always, tomato plants. So one day my dad makes up some pot brownies, and after they're all cool after bacon and everything, but he sits them out in the brownie pan in the dining room to finish cooling off. And he put a little piece of paper on top and said tomato brownies so that my grandfather wouldn't like touch them. Came downstairs. Grandpa's sitting at the kitchen table watching TV, and he's just got his mouth wide open. He's drooling all over himself. Like, Grandpa, you okay? He's like, yeah. He's like, is the TV on? And I'm like, yeah, you're watching TV. He's like, it looks funny. He's like, I don't feel like moving. And I'm like, you? I'm like, did you take your heart medication and everything? He's like, yeah, I took it. But then I had a couple of these brownies that your dad made, and I'm like, brownie, because I didn't know my dad made brownies, and I look over in the dining room, and there's like two brownies missing out of this pan, and there's a little card that says tomato brownies. I'm like, you didn't eat those, did you, Grandpa? He's like, yeah, it sounded interesting, tomatoes and brownies, and then like my dad came downstairs and said the same thing. He's like, and my grandfather got pissed. He's like, you mean there's shit in them brownies? We're like, yeah, Grandpa, you're high.
Right.
He was like 80 years old at the time. It was fucking hilarious. Like we called his primary doctor up at the VA. We're like, yeah, Grandpa accidentally ingested a little bit of edible marijuana, and he's high. He's like, is it going to interfere with any of his medication? Everything. The doctor laughed it off. He's like, he only had two. He'll be fine. He'll be stoned for the rest of the day. He'll sleep really well tonight, and he'll be fine tomorrow morning. And sure enough, he was. And
Grandpa
he's
got
like, oh
high
yeah, I
on
forgot the
brownies.
code.
Grandpa got high on pot brownies.
Mhm.
Sitting at the table yesterday. Oh yeah, no, he's good. That's funny. Uh, Hello.
Arth Tarok. I haven't seen that name in quite a while. How you doing?
What's up, Darth?
Excuse
me. Thank you. Hold on a second. In fact, I'll be right back.
Roger. Oh yeah, Ragged. That's kind of warm for you guys. Holy shit. That's when you start worrying about the old folks, keeling over. Because they're not used to that from what I hear.
So your grandpa was a believer after that, huh?
Oh, he knew what it was all about. He had said that back when he was a farm kid, way back in the days, that he had tried it out. He knew what it was all about.
Yeah. Oh wow. They got thunderstorms in UK? I thought they're more like hurricanes or something.
No, they get thunderstorms. I think what it is, because the jet stream traditionally, goes up the east coast of the Atlantic on our side, and then once it hits Canada, it turns to the east and heads over to the UK, and then when that air mass meets the cold air coming out of the North Sea and stuff, you can get thunderstorms. And if they got weather systems coming west out of Europe.
Right, that's right. Says I don't think you can make it through life on Earth without having some weed, at least one.
Yeah.
But bar in the bowl. Yeah, I obviously been pushing myself pretty hard, and I obviously just needed to pass out. Got me a nap in the day. I still got most everything, most of the stuff I wanted to get done today. But where are you going to go, Bill? That's because I've got a fan on. It was hot. Hold on a second. Let's check. Is that better? Is it better now?
Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah.
Good deal. Yeah, it's that fan. Yeah, got a wind fan in the window. Do what? Oh, it's still it's on slow. Not fast enough to keep up with your game. Randy, I got him plugged into my laptop for charge his phone, and it's not working well. It's not fast enough to keep up with his phone power usage on his game. Oh shit. All right. Okay. All right, right. Yeah. But we the puppies are doing great. Yeah, the Ranger and Ricky both got bit by the. Hey, what's up, Gandhi? They both got bit by a copperhead about a week ago. They're all fully recovered now.
Cool.
And I got the flea and tick medicine on them. That stuff from Walmart works pretty good. This it's called Pet Armor. This stuff works pretty good actually. And it works here. It works everywhere. They always go, Darth. They run the woods here. They hunt. They hunt. They killed a couple of those copperhead snakes before. So yeah, they know what they're doing. And now they know to avoid them somewhat. But once they get bit once or twice, they're basically immune to it after that. Yeah. Yes, Miriam. Yes, there are a lot of ticks here in Missouri, in the woods and stuff like that. The trick to getting past those is B12. Mass dose B12 for more than 3 days. Minimum 3 days. After the third day, you keep taking it every day. Okay? Garlic as well. Take heavy garlic in your food, stuff like that, or garlic supplement. But once you get past the 72 hours of megadose B12, well, you need to get the B12. Once you got megadose B12 in your system for 3 days, they will not. They don't. They very few of them will ever attach to you. You might see them on you, but they won't attach, and they won't. Yeah, from gardening. Yeah, yeah, that's right. They're in leaves, mulch, leaves, around the trees, especially.
Tall grasses,
Mm-hmm.
shit like that.
But you got chiggers are the tall grassers. Chiggers are tall grass, and nothing stops chiggers.
I don't think I've ever had to deal with chiggers before.
Oh, they suck. But yeah, that's just the way of things are in the deep woods here in the Ozarks. I don't care where you are in the Ozarks, ticks and fleas and flies. Yeah. No, don't use the bug spray. Don't use the bug spray. It'll make you sick. If you use it every day on a regular basis, it will make you sick.
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. B12. Get the liquid stuff from Infowars. Get some. I have sublingual B12. That's a high dose B12 supplement, and I take the right here, Secret 12.
Chewable or the pill form was better?
The pill form, well, no, yeah.
Or the tick?
For the tick stuff, yeah, I like pill form, but I take it from two sources. I always take B12 from two sources because the combination of it seems to be better than just one by itself. I know, right, Diesel? Just refresh your following, okay, and notifications. Yeah, DEET is the chemical in it that will make you sick.
Yeah, and like back in the 80s and the 90s, the actual level of DEET that they would use in that spray was higher. Like the government made them lower the amount of DET that they used in it.
Yeah.
I remember we did an experiment because, we camped all the time at Boy Scouts, so we always had bug spray around. We had heard a rumor that like the Deep Woods Off, if you sprayed it on bologna or salami or something like that, it would eat through the fucking bologna. And sure enough, within like an hour or two, there was like big ass holes in the bologna. And
oh, wow.
You could melt the tip of a ballpoint pen in that stuff if you let it sit for like an hour, coating the tip of a pen. The tip would dissolve and you get ink everywhere. It was disgusting.
Diesel, I've done that. I cleaned the headlight bezels on my Cadillac with Deep Woods Off. Yeah. I spray it down, let it sit for a minute, and then take a scrubby, like a green scratch pad scrubby, and you wipe it down real good, like you're doing a wax job on it. Yeah. And then let it sit, and then wipe it down with a clean rag. Yeah, it did great. Cleaned them up. They look like they're damn near new. Hey, Kimmy. Kimmy got 4 new tires.
What's up, Huckleberry?
There's my Huckleberry.
Yeah, vinegar is a good overall cleaning agent. I use it a lot. It works great on windows. If you got clean glass and you don't want to pay for expensive glass cleaner, plain white vinegar, that's the way to go. You won't streak.
Yep, I had a friend of mine clean his glasses with Deep Woods Off all the time. Ugh. Yeah. Remember Tree Stands Out? Remember Joe, right?
Yeah.
He was one that was doing that. Oh, you got some Deep Woods Off? Let me see that. He sprayed out his glasses, wipe them off. Keeps the bugs away from my face, he said. Yeah, Huckleberry. Now I don't know what the active ingredient in it was, but there's this product from Avon called Skin So Soft, and it would keep the bugs away. I don't know what the hell was in it, but that was cool as hell. But yeah, my mom was an avid carrier. She would turn around, she'd carry that Skin So Soft stuff everywhere, and put it on us when we run into mosquitoes and stuff like that, and keep the mosquitoes away. Weird.
Probably some herbal extract.
Yeah,
like lemongrass oil or something like that.
I don't know. It didn't smell like menthe or eucalyptus stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Don got a pallet of 230 watt 60 cell solar panels, man. That's quite a bit.
Oh yeah. 230 watt panels. Yeah, dude, look at him putting this to serious power. He's got 3 5K grow watt solar units that are interconnected to run them. Yeah, yeah, I know. I can't wait to see his inputs and right. He's got them combined and going into a box. Yeah, he's got some cool shit he's doing with that. He's in Arizona. All he's got to do is worry about them flying away with the winds. Right? You might want to put some hard surface protectant, like a wax, maybe a ceramic wax or something on them to keep the sand from just blasting them. Right? Just stick on Gorilla Glass protector things for solar panels. I don't know. Right. $21.45 total. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, because we used to have problems, canoes. We used to have problems with wasps and stuff going up inside of our siding on our house and building nests in there and shit. Yeah. You put dryer sheets up in there in any open hole, any open spot, wherever you put them, bugs will not go.
Yeah.
Wasps will not build a nest. Yeah, you won't have any problems with the bugs. For whatever reason, dryer sheets are badass that way.
I only heard about that about maybe a year ago. There's some article I came across on my feed saying, like, why do you find dryer sheets inside mailboxes? Like, postal carriers were wondering why, they kept finding sheets of dryer sheets in people's mailboxes, and they explained the whole thing.
Right?
Hey, what's up, Don?
How you doing, bud?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
5 by 5.
I'm not on the right thing. My headphones are not. You're coming through the speakers, and you should be coming through the Bluetooth.
That's a Bluetooth.
Chat, hold on. Yeah, goddamn Bluetooth. How about that? Somebody say something.
Check.
All right.
There you are. You're in the Bluetooth now. You're in the Bluetooth zone.
Damn it.
Miss Miriam, hello, warriors. Platoon, Ragged, Hawk. How is everyone this evening? So you found some Lavazza. Dude, I just ordered a new set of 4, I think, 8-ounce jobs.
Yeah.
So I'm so close. I'm so close to, honestly, I'm so close to firing this up, and I'm excited. So close.
Right.
Like I said, I ordered additional solar panels today. That's about 7,000 watts of solar panels, which should bring me to about 15,000 watts total solar panels.
Right.
My next run is about $1,000 to Home Depot for lumber to build a ground mount. But with that said, I have to go to Home Depot. Before I can turn this thing up, I need a ground rod. I don't have a ground rod. So
yeah. Just simple
I need
copper rod driven.
Yeah. They got one at Home Depot. It's $21. I just need to go get it. That's all.
Well,
Get it.
Paul,
Drive
with your
it in the ground.
ground, with the way your earth is there, I would
Yes.
probably drive it in at least about 10 feet if I could.
I will drive it in as deep as I can go. Yes, sir.
Okay. I would try and make sure you get it at least down to 10 feet because you got to hit moisture, a good hard moisture into that sand dirt you got.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Duly noted.
yeah.
But with that said, that's the only thing stopping me. I got one more outlet that I need to hang off of the sub panel. Just a standard 120 volt outlet. I have a 240 volt outlet on there for my Bitcoin miners. The batteries are all wired up. Everything's ready to go. I need to bring them up and program them. But that's it.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm almost there. Almost there. If I don't have them done this weekend, then if I don't have them brought up and sucking back solar power this weekend, then something's wrong.
Right.
Anyway, that's my story. That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
Solar panels. Got some solar panels, some more solar panels. Check. Got everything wired up. Like I said, I just need one more outlet on coming off of the sub panel, but I can do that anytime. So it's not really a big thing. That's it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all I got. Let me see.
Yeah, my batteries are going to shit.
Why?
They are. They're old. They're getting old. I've
How
had them.
old are they?
They're going on 4 years.
Surely you're maintaining them, putting the proper water in them, this, that, and the other thing, making sure your levels are right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just, in fact, I got to go out there again tomorrow and do that again. It's going to be raining tomorrow, so it'll be a good day to do it. And
Rain, I remember that.
right now, you're lucky to get a fog in the morning
Yeah, if I'm lucky.
if you're lucky. But yeah, I'm gonna be checking them again tomorrow and going through them, cleaning up that side of the garage and go through the batteries and make sure they all got their water and stuff like that, right?
Faraday caging them next and auto solar tracking to greatly improve efficiency of panels. So the auto tracking I will be doing. My ground mount is going to move. I'm going to have a Raspberry Pi that runs the tilt of my ground mount.
I was just going to suggest either a Pi unit or an Arduino. They're perfect for that.
Exactly. And they do that really well all day with cheap linear actuators. So that's exactly what I'm doing with solar on the first ground mount, the first 7,000 watts of it. Let's see, Faraday caging though. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little excessive. But did you know that, and I know you know this, tracking the sun with the solar panels will increase your solar collection by approximately 50% per day.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah.
It drastically increases your power collection, your solar collection. So yeah, I'm going with that. I can do that for cheap. Diesel, what is up, brother?
At
All I have.
249 is 11. It's 1049.
Yeah.
Yep. Zoom, the easiest way to convert it is just if it's more than 12, if it's more than 12 on time, subtract 12. So if it's 13, you subtract 12, and it's 1 o'clock.
Anyone know 2249? 2249 is 10:49 p.m. It's military time.
Yep.
I would have expected he already knew that, though. Given his vast military experience.
Yeah. Right. Man, I tell you what, it's been so beautiful here. I am just feeling lucky, you know.
Yeah, with all those ticks, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous place to be.
Hey, paradise has its fallback, but
Well, I mean, we were at 90 degrees here today. Blue sky, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. No ticks, but we got rattlers and scorpions. So, okay.
We don't have rattlers and scorpions.
Like you said, you know, paradise has got its fucking problems some days.
Right? But there are workarounds and tips and tricks to make it safe.
Exactly. Adapt, overcome. That's what you do.
That's right. That's
You
right.
find your little space in the world, and you fucking carve out your little niche in it, and you
I'd
dare a
rather deal with
motherfucker to
ticks
come in there and disturb you.
I'd rather deal with ticks and chiggers than rattlesnakes and scorpions. So,
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I did the ticks and chiggers for fucking 60 years for that I was East Coast. So I mean, I've been eat up with ticks 40 ways from Sunday.
right.
So the scorpions and the rattlers are new. That's a new challenge for you, you know? You just,
Yeah, you don't need anti-venom for fucking ticks and chiggers.
they just do it's different. Ticks and roadkill. Yes, lots and lots of roadkill in Missouri. We don't have roadkill here. We don't have little furry things that try to scuffle across the fucking road and get hit.
Right.
Closest thing we got to that is like a road runner, and you'll rarely hit one.
But we do have cleanup crews. They're called turkey vultures.
Yeah, but you know, that's again, she's right. You're eat up with fucking roadkill out there on the secondary roads.
Yeah.
You get armadillo down there.
Oh Jesus, armadillo.
Yeah, that's big roadkill in the Southwest, and
That's
down in
big
Texas
roadkill
and
everywhere.
Now it's big killing is Missouri. 90% of the stuff you see out there is now
You
armadillo.
should try driving through Arkansas. You should try driving through Arkansas. Armadillo, it's fucking armadillo everywhere. I mean, you can't swing a dead cat and not hit a fucking dead armadillo.
In fact, they've got these bumper guards that stop it from messing up your car because they'll jump just before you hit them, so they fuck up your car.
Alive armadillos don't exist, Marion. They don't exist. That's a fucking
I have
figment
seen
of somebody's imagination.
I have seen one live. It was captive in a zoo, and it was the most pathetic. Like, I felt sad for it. I wanted to go in there and end its misery because I don't think they take too well to captivity. This thing was in its little pen area, was probably about 10 foot by 10 foot. And the entire time that we were there, all it did was run from one end of the enclosure to the other, batting its head against the wall, trying to kill itself. That's all it did for like an hour.
I have a theory about armadillos. They're the ancient roly bugs.
Yeah.
You know, the little roly pill bugs.
Yeah. But they are fucking, especially in Arkansas, they are the state bird, the state roadkill.
Right. It used to be coyotes and groundhogs and squirrels, but now it's
But yeah, I'm amazed that the desert really doesn't have a lot of roadkill. Just not much there. There's nothing there. I mean, you
there's nobody driving there.
Between here and Vegas is 100 miles of desert, literally. So It's nothing. There's nothing there. But it's cool. It's beautiful. But I find it, particularly at night, when you're driving in the desert at night, the stars is all you get.
And they're
'Cause,
bright
I
as
mean,
hell.
and they're bright as hell, but you don't get trees. Like in the East, you're on a country road, you get trees, right? They tell you kind of how you're doing, where you're at. You don't get that here. You get no reference, nothing. You're fucking out in the, especially when there's no stars.
Oh
You're
shit!
completely fucked. So
Right?
it's different though. I mean, I find it interesting. I do.
Yeah. Well, you
Did
have to have.
you,
That's when you need your compass. You need to have a
Don?
compass.
Did you get to see the eclipse the other day?
I did not.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Pizza Delivery. Well,
What's up, you fool? But yeah, no, in the desert, yeah, compass. When you don't have stars, you've got to have a compass.
yeah, it's different. The local constabulary really doesn't give two fucks about how fast you're going in the desert. They really don't.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you're doing it erratically, then they'll pull you over. But if you're just going fast, 80 miles, 85, 90, they don't care
Right.
because the chances are really good the guy behind you is doing exactly the same thing.
It's kind of like Montana.
Kind of like Montana. Just move the traffic, please. That's all I want you to do.
Right. Just keep it rolling and stay on the
Exactly.
road, on your lane.
Yep. Yep. Oh, and as long as you ain't hauling illegals.
Right. Right. You got Pacos hanging all over
Yeah,
your truck.
they don't care too much for hauling illegals.
I'm just giving him a ride home from work.
Exactly. He was hitchhiking. You know what?
All of a sudden, there was 20 of them.
And I pulled over for one, and 30 of them came out of the fucking woods.
So I said, climb on. Let's go.
Well, they all had $20 bills too, so I was like, okay.
You know, it's Friday night. I figure, what the fuck?
Exactly. I got nowhere else to be.
Right.
Yeah, they don't take too kindly to that.
Yes, officer. They may be illegals, but I was moving towards the border.
I was bringing them in. How about that? Yeah,
Right.
I was
I was
bringing
bringing
them
them
to you.
all in. I was like,
No, officer. These are the ones that I rounded up in my neighborhood. I'm taking them back. And
Making
Right.
the citizens erased.
save the
it's a
taxpayers some
citizen's
money.
race. A citizen's race. I like that.
I'm making the citizens erased. Listen, I didn't want to jump in here and monopolize the convo. So thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Well,
And I
wait a
will
second. You ain't getting away that easy. Did you do
Okay.
anything about you know, you got to take care of mama. She wanted a prickly pear garden. Is she getting that?
We're currently in negotiations for that. I'm asking her what she wants, and we're trying to figure out where it's going to go. But yeah, she'll get whatever she wants there. That's for sure.
I was just wondering if you made any headway on.
No, Buck. That's like 20 projects down the line.
Well, my spicy tomatoes will be in their
I
resting
heard.
place.
I heard about your spicy tomatoes tonight. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got them in the big 2-gallon pots right now.
So, I mean, you're gonna hook a guy up when the bumper crop comes in, right? You know.
Of course,
All right.
of
That's
course,
all I'm saying.
right? Of course. Hell yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I got nothing in the dirt, brother. So
Oh,
I'm
no shit.
at this point, I'm either, putting my good cash money out, or I'm dependent. What do they call that? I'm reliant on the good faith and fortune of others. How about that?
Right. Yep.
At this point,
Right. Yeah.
it's early in the season, though. I mean, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that I'm going to go without,
Right. I know.
but
But still,
right now
right.
I got nothing.
No shit. I thought you did a 5x5 thing.
I did. I got a goddamn tent popped up in the fucking sitting there in the master bedroom. Lights in it and everything. Don't
Don't go there.
don't get me started.
Oh shit.
Oh, them Mexico spicy tomatoes. Yeah, that's exactly what they are, Ragged. It's the Mexican version of the spicy tomatoes. It's the Southern Border Heinz 57 special ketchup sauce. Who was it that had the joke in the chat earlier? It might have been Bill. Two tomatoes were crossing the road.
Oh, yeah, that was Bill, I think.
One got hit by a car, the other one
One
said
got hit. Ketchup.
Tomo cannabis. Yeah.
That was funny. I mean, it was dry, it was lame, but it was fucking funny as shit. It really was. So that's what I'm thinking. Spicy tomatoes.
That was Ragged Corn, he said.
Ragged.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But yeah, they're looking good too. And the tops are still growing.
I bet they are.
The tops, it's been so cool. I've been like topping them like I normally do, but I let them go a little bit further so I can get a stem on it. And I put it in the dirt.
Came from Jack's. You mean like Jack's Carpenter's boy? No shit. That was funny. It was still funny.
Right?
That was funny.
Good deal. Where is Carpenter anyway? Yeah.
I see him a lot of times over at Aaron's in the chat. He was there, I think, last night. I didn't see him today.
Why did the bike fall over?
I'm sorry, what?
Too tired.
Oh. Oh, okay. But no, I'm just really anxious to see how those batteries perform. But yeah, because mine are crap.
I was reading about them today. Startup procedures, this, that, and the other thing. Make sure they got a current limitations built in, voltage limitations built in, a really good BMS built in. So I'm actually looking forward to turning them on. I got them all wired up nice.
Right.
I used one hot gauge. The lugs I had to put the lugs in my bench vise and file them down because the lugs were too wide for the terminals on the batteries.
Oh wow.
But it was, I mean, the lugs are soft copper.
Right.
I got a nice raspy file that was able to take the edge of those things off with, short order. But anyway, it had to happen before I could put those in, and it's good. It's fine now. Everything's fine. But I was surprised that they did those lugs the way that they did those terminals the way that they did. Anyway, I would have done them differently.
Yeah. Those damn lugs are expensive, actually.
They are fucking very expensive.
So
Dude, 30 feet of that cable cost me $87.
I went on eBay and found the place where I bought them before. The lugs I got were for 2/0 cable because that's what I wire my batteries with. And gauge. And I have a 3/8 hole in it for my battery set.
Right.
And if you go to a store, you're paying $1.50 a piece on those.
Shit. If you're getting them for $1.50, then you're getting them cheap. I'm paying $3.
Well, I went on eBay, found 100 of them for $50.
That's
already 10.
Okay. All right.
Already 10. So there's their copper with a 10 cop plating on them.
I'm buying packs of 10 of those for $20. They're $2 a piece, but they're coming with the red. They're coming with the red and the black shrink wrap too. So
that's why I ordered the 100 of them, because they're 50 cents a piece that way.
Okay. Well, I'm at the point where I've got all my wire crimped. I just, and I've got XS now, and
Oh yeah,
I'm good to go. I'm good. I just need to add. I'm not going to turn the thing on without a ground rod, without a fucking ground connection. I'm just not going to do it.
Right. Well, you can use the house ground.
Yeah, but the house ground, no, I can't use the house ground because this is a brand new fucking code says that I can't. I have to produce my own ground here.
That's always best anyway. Right.
Sorry, what?
That's always the best possible way to do it anyway.
And that's the way it's going to be done.
Right.
But code says that I have to do that because I have both the electrical is being generated from a new source. B, the new source is in a different building. And C, there's a new sub panel. So all of that in code requires its own ground rod.
Right.
I'll happily drive that into the ground. That's easy enough to do. Well, it's not easy. It's going to be a bitch, but I just got to get it done.
Right.
And that's a Lowe's run tomorrow. But I'm not going to do a $21 ground rod Lowe's run by itself. I'm going to fucking include that in my $848 lumber run with galvanized bolts and treated and this, that, and the other thing. So.
Well, I tell you what I did with the grounding rod set is I took a pipe, a threaded pipe.
I've seen that. Everybody's done that.
Yeah, and ran that rod up in there, and then then used it like a pile driver to put it around.
Yeah. I don't happen to have a spare pipe laying around, and a 10-foot grounding rod, 10-foot 5/8 grounding rod from Lowe's is $21. The clamp is $6. So
right.
That's what I'll do.
Vice grips and a hammer. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
I got a 2-pound ball peen hammer. So
yeah.
I'll give the wife $20 and tell her to drive it in there.
She'll figure it
out. She'll take the $20 and look at me like I'm on crack.
Thanks. I'll be back.
See ya. Trying to read chat here. Take sweltering heat or chilling, soul crushing cold. Yeah. The heat, you can escape the heat various things. The cold just fucking, I've never had anything for the cold. Cold takes the life out of me. 23 miles from France, you poor thing. Canada, man. I was up in Newfoundland one time, got so fucking cold, I got sick, got weak. No, I don't want to do that anymore. Cold is not my thing.
Cold
I'm,
sucks.
I'm like Marion. I'm hot. Give me the beach. Give me the woods. Take me to the creeks and rivers and stuff like that.
Yeah. All you gotta do is get in the shade and have a fan or a breeze, and you're good. You know,
I tell
you
you
get
what,
hot.
I grew up with no air conditioner, and we had a lake and we had a river. And if I was hot enough, I could make it to the river. And we had a rope swing, and we had a place that we could walk into the river, and you know, so it just, I don't know.
We had a creek.
We had a creek, exactly.
We had a creek that we would go to, and we because it was all wooded there, so it was all shaded, and the creek, you could get a little bit wet, didn't have to get all wet. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I like getting all wet. And if you're lucky enough, mom would load up the fucking station wagon and take you all up to the lake for a day of Kentucky barrels of Kentucky Fried Chicken and lake swimming. That was fun.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going, John?
Pool passes. There you go. Fuck yeah, pool passes. Cricks.
Yeah, I was gonna say we catch rides with our friends in the neighborhood, go up to the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we moved when we were teens to another town, we had AC in the house, but my mother almost always refused to run it. She said it was too expensive, and it was an old AC unit. It didn't work that well, and we used to get headaches, if we ran it for more than a day. But like, I mean, I'm talking like the only time we would run it if it was like 95 degrees, dead of summer.
What the fuck, Little House on the Prairie? Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was a little bit of Little House on the Prairie. The point here is we got by. We managed without fucking air conditioning. We just did. We managed without having this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah,
It's like so creeks, pools, didn't have ACs. Yep.
Hey, I was delivering pizza years back with no AC at all during the summers. In my
Yep.
old Camry. I was
We-
just sweating it out.
I don't know about y'all, but I had 480 AC, four
480.
windows at 80 miles an hour.
There you go.
Hey, I love them. Go ahead.
I'd go get a couple of those little wader pools. They're like $9 a piece. You can get them by the fucking. You can get a stack of 3 or 4 of them if you're smart, and put them out in the front lawn, out in the shade, and fill them with water, and just lay down in them.
Do you guys remember the older cars that had the swamp coolers hanging from the top of the car?
No.
Swamp coolers. From
Yeah,
the
it was
top
like
of, no,
it was
I'm
big
sorry.
back like in the 40s and the 50s. You could get swamp cooler. It was like a water tank that you would hang from the top of your windows, and it
Wow.
acted kind of like an air conditioning unit, but it was, I don't think it was electrically powered. It just used the airflow as the car was driving to push cooler air into the car because of the water in the tank or something like that.
Yeah. I've heard about it, but I've never seen one.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really need AC in the UK because it's humid. It's cool and temperate up there. And
Yeah,
you do get occasional 100 degree days and shit like
Yeah,
that.
you
And
said it was
when
in
that
the
happens,
90s today, so
yeah,
Well, you know what? Temperature happens here. It doesn't
yeah.
stop me from working for the most part.
yeah.
I may have to take more breaks because I get sweat blinded. But I get sweat blinded and I go sit down and dry off and get back to work.
Heat over here is I can see where it's gonna modify my outdoor time. I'll only be able to do so much in the heat, but I'll do little bits. and then come inside, get a cold drink, play around on a computer, and then go back out and do it again. I don't mind working in the heat. It's not a problem.
Well, you can acclimate to everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can acclimate to anything.
And trust me, I'm not Mr. fucking gonna go out and dig a ditch for 8 hours in 125-degree weather. I mean, it's just not gonna happen.
Well,
I manage my expectations, so to speak.
I'm pretty sure in the Navy you didn't go through any desert training or jungle training or anything like that.
Yeah, we had a little bit of desert training.
Did
I
you?
won't, but I don't fucking know. I don't need to be conserving my sweat and, making sure I gather my own urine and those kinds of things. I'm just, nah, we're good. We got bottled water. We'll be all right.
Right. Yeah, I had an extra. I had the 5-pocket Alice pack, so I had the 3 across the back and 2, 1 on each side, and I had water bladders in the ones on the sides, so it worked out really well.
I mean, you can put they got bladders. They got water bladders for just about everything now.
Right.
Every kind of little backpack, every kind of little side pack, shimmy pack. You got fucking water bladders for everything.
He's choosing his poison. He's for the evening.
Beer, couple beers, half dozen, 6-pack.
He's like, how am I getting drunk tonight?
Okay, that and a bag of chips or a cup of coffee. No on the coffee. Let's see. No on the fruit drink.
There's the monsters.
There's the monster drink. I might need one of those. Ooh, it's in a cool fucking display. Look at that. 45
too often
with the
anymore.
wheel and everything.
Like
That's
that.
just bad as shit. Look at that. Tell me that ain't cool as fuck.
That is pretty fucking cool. It's got tires already.
It's like a big ass Lego car, but like with monsters instead of Lego bricks.
That is bad as fuck. I like that. Nice, brother. Nice. Buy me a monster, mate.
Energy drinks are the devil.
I'll drink a sugar-free Red Bull every once in a blue moon. I can't handle the full strength ones. It's just I get heart palpitations from them.
All right.
Yep.
I don't ever drink them. I used to, have a little 5-hour energy to keep me up, but I can't do those things anymore.
No.
Yeah. I'm still on my tea kick.
I'm a coffee man. Wifey just got me a new espresso machine, so I'm wearing that fucker out.
Well, tomorrow after it rains, I'm gonna go I'm gonna try and get a couple pounds of sassafras root. I'm gonna dig up some sassafras root tomorrow. There's several trees in a path where we gotta clear anyway, so we got some big ass sassafras trees here. I was like, what? That's a sassafras tree? Oh shit.
Hell yeah. Choose your fucking poison. Oh, look at the cute little doggy. What's up, doggy?
Looks like a yapper.
Right?
Puppy dog, ankle
It's
biter.
a guard dog.
Yeah, that's usually what they're doing in there, but that one was pretty quiet and tame. Oh, let me mute it. All this.
Dude, is that your hoopty?
Yeah, it's my little Avy, my baby Avy. The Avalon needs to be cleaned. I haven't washed it in weeks.
Nice.
got to get an oil change here this Friday. I'm coming up on 10,000 miles. It's time. Yeah. Yeah, this thing's ugly as far as just dirt. Like, there's a
It is
film.
fun to say sassafras.
That's right.
Dog was mugging. Posing, you mean? That's cool.
You know what, Miriam? Tomorrow I'll do a video when I go to do it. And I'll show you the leaves and what to look for to identify the sassafras trees. Because I guarantee you got them there. Guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
Just don't do them in concert with energy drinks or 5-hour energies and stuff like that. Ben Frank found out. Why not?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All the dog's got to do is inform daddy of what's going on. That's all. They ain't got to do the attacking. Daddy will do the attacking. Just give me the notification. Something weird going on over there. Dog get a bark. That's all I need. I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah. My babies, yeah, they do that.
It ain't beware a dog. It's beware of dumbass with the gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a sign on the driveway. Don't worry about the dogs.
Yeah.
Beware the owner.
Beware of owner. Exactly.
Yeah, my dogs, my boys, and these. I tell you what, the girls are just almost more protective than the guys are. Yeah, they get pissed off at stuff that's going on across the road. And Princess last night would not shut up. Something was happening over there, and she didn't. It pissed her off. She was.
Ninja bodyguard squirrels or where it's at. Yep.
Yeah, it's been a couple months since I've seen Ben Frank on here. But this time of year, though, he does a lot of tree stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Blue cheese that is straight gas. Lady and gentlemen, easy with that. Right. That whole gentleman thing there.
Right. What's up, Brian the Blaze? Welcome in. Why are you going to eat a tree rat? Oh, you mean the squirrels? That's tree bacon.
Tree bacon for the win.
Bacon. Squirrels
Hey,
are like
there's Singularity. What's up, Sing?
Sing
Sing.
is not driving a truck somewhere. Good evening, Sing.
How you doing, buddy? I say squirrel tastes like bacon. Really?
I don't know. I ate squirrel one time. I feel like it tasted more like chicken.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cross between chicken and rabbit, I'd say.
How come I shut up?
I think you're all on crack. I think if you put some white gravy over it and some biscuits next to it, then it's a fucking
sausage.
Yeah. It's just like chicken.
That was classic. Oh, I need some laughs today, man.
Yeah, here next week we're going to be cleaning up one of the rabbits. We got a rabbit that needs to. I need a cage to vacate, and it don't have a home, and it's big. So
Ragged, do they eat squirrel in North Korea?
I think they've made
have
squirrels extinct in North Korea because everybody ate them.
I think he's right. If there are any, they're definitely in the black market, like in the wet shop or whatever.
Now, your wildlife UFO, what happens is your wildlife tastes like the food that it eats. Okay, according to the food it eats. So if it's eating natural shit like nuts and berries and stuff like that,
Yep.
it's gonna be sweet and good. But if it's eating garbage, yeah, it's gonna taste like crap.
Yep.
Well, pigs are kind of bottom feeders, though. They don't really taste.
No, but what happens is they're still eating organic stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, especially since they're not living wild when we kill them and eat them. But they'll eat their own shit, you know? I mean, they'll fucking eat anything. I can only eat like a little pork here and there. It has to be pretty good, like organic type of pork, you know, or just what do you call it? Oh, fuck. Up in Michigan, they got some really good pork sausages and all this links, different things. I just mainly eat pepperoni though. That's my pork.
Hey, Zach. Hey, Ragged. Hi, Miriam. Hi, Huckleberry. Dawn, always a pleasure. Emerald, always a pleasure. Canoes, Jason, always a pleasure.
Rock on.
I heard you guys talking about tree stuff. I dropped a 70-foot elm in my backyard, aimed it just perfect. A branch snapped off and took out my 4-year-old 5-in-1 apple.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Made me sick.
That's but you aimed it perfect, right?
Oh, it landed perfect, and then that big old branch snapped off and just wiped it out. It's about 2 foot off the ground now.
Wow. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, it was sickening. That thing was right around probably about 15 foot tall now. And it had blooms on it for the first year.
Oh, wow. That sucks. Yeah. But but it landed good though. That's the important part.
Yeah. It went perfect where my wedge was. It landed. Once it landed, that wedge was still parallel with the trunk wedge. So it went exactly where I wanted it to go.
Right.
If it wouldn't have rolled after it hit, I would have been flying. I landed it right between 2 rows of trees, and then it came down and caught that one. It's like, crap.
Yeah.
Got stuck up on the other tree.
Yeah. Actually, I've got another tree already here. It's a 5-in-1. This one though, I couldn't find the Honey Crisps, but I did find one with Granny Smith. It's more of an acidic. Yeah.
I've been looking for Granny Smith apple tree for years. Can't find them.
They're hard to find. This one, just out of the blue, we've got a place called Baumgars. They had a 5-in-1 that had Gala, and it had Granny Smith and a couple other of those high, acidic, like Granny Smith, the real sour apples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Granny Smith or not, you can buy the seeds, but that's it.
Oh, wow.
They're just, I don't know if people buy them up or people just aren't growing them or whatever. But if you ask me, Granny Smiths are one of the best. The girls make pies out of them. They make some of the best pies.
Yes, they do.
You can just
I
Google
have
Granny
Larry.
Smith apple saplings for sale, and a whole bunch of places pop up. They're around. You can get them through the mail.
Yeah, but getting a tree through the mail, it's a 50-50 whether or not
Yeah,
you're going to get
no,
it
it's
right.
always going to be a 50-50 thing.
Yeah, yeah. And the worst thing about growing them from seeds, if you can't get them rooted, it's best to have a professional grower get them to a couple of years old. Otherwise, every time I've grown a tree from seed, it gets up to about 8 foot tall. It gives a little fruit for a year or two, and then it dies. Every time I do it from a seed, it might be something I'm doing wrong though. But on the other hand, I've been told that wisteria. Have you ever seen that wisteria vine? They've got the Chinese and the American wisteria, and they say the American wisteria is almost impossible to get to grow from a seed. And I grew those from seeds, and I put them in aquariums, and then put little pots in the aquarium in the winter, and I've been doing that for a couple of years, and they're going crazy here. I've got the American wisterias everywhere right now.
Oh, wow.
It's a hysteria about the wisteria.
Oh, they're cool. I've got them vining over like swings, and I got an arch. I want to. I ordered a bunch of willow cuttings to try to get going, and I want to do a gazebo, the living gazebo out of the willow branches. Get them where you weave them through, and you keep training them over several years.
Oh yeah.
And then once I get that, then I want the wisteria to vine up through it. So I've got these flowers, the flower pods that dangle down. Yeah.
I'm all into that type of stuff. Like growing trees different ways, like shaping them or something. I know that's not quite what you're saying, but
Well, no, you can. I actually have one rose I bought. It was a knockout rose I bought probably about 5 years ago, and we kept braiding the vines on it, and it's probably about a 7-foot tree right now. We've got it into it's hard to explain. You braid those. I'm sure most of you guys know what I'm talking about, but you braid the stems, and then it ends up giving you almost a trunk, and it supports itself, and then you keep trimming it to where at the top you just got it bushing out, and it's a little tiny tree.
I've seen some shit like that.
Yeah.
I got to get into something with making the yard better or landscaping.
I've got 100 by 150 foot on the lot that I have the house on, and I've got 30 by 150 that's nothing but different. I've got raspberry bushes, I've got grapes, I've got goji berries, I've got josta berries, I've got blueberries, nice. And then I've got all the I've got 2 of each of the 5-in-1 apple, 5-in-1 peach, a 4-in-1 cherry, a 3-in-1 plum, and then a 3-in-1 pear, 2 of each.
That sounds pretty solid.
I've got about 30 foot by 30 foot on one end, and about 30 foot by 20 foot on the other end. On the 30 foot by 20 foot, I want to put a greenhouse. Now, the 30 foot by 30 foot is where I put my raised garden, just for a yearly garden.
Yeah. How much land you got there? You don't have a lot, do you?
Nope. I've just got it carved up and everything laid out to the minimum specs. So like between each tree, I've got 10 foot. So what they call it, have you ever seen those postage stamp orchards? They're all dwarf trees, and that's basically what mine's set up in. Is like the trees are set up in a 20 by 30 area. Actually, I've got it 20 by 50, but
Oh, right.
so once they grow, they'll be kind of crammed in together, it'll seem, but it'll be like a solid canopy above it. The grapes are what I'm having trouble with right now. They're not wanting to take out very well.
Hey, Booble. Fucking lamplight, 10%. Ah,
Oh, wow. Got infested with mites. Oh, I ordered the nematodes too for the garden.
Good.
nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Sing, how much acreage you said you have, or is it?
I'm at like point, I think 7.1, not quite 3/4 of an acre total.
Huh.
Because actually I've got a good chunk of I've got my yard kind of takes up some land that's not big enough to put a lot on, and the city has it, so I'm just able to use it.
See, that's awesome because that just shows that people that don't even have much land can still do stuff.
Oh yeah, you got a good sized backyard. You can grow almost every bit of food you'd need.
Oh, yeah.
I've in my garden, I've got those big old. They used to be combine tires, those big, thick combine tires. I've got those set up with a real soft soil, sand, with a lot of like potting soil mixed in with it. That's where I grow like my potatoes and onions because they're easy to dig up that way.
Yeah, my
Pleasant
garden's only 30. My garden's only 36 by 40. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
And
Most
that'll
of that
grow.
probably. I'll go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that'll grow what a small family would need. Everything you need.
More.
Right.
You can't eat
You
that
just
much.
can it. Yep.
I bet that tire keeps like bunny rabbits away, or they probably can't fuck with it.
Yep. Yep. And I had my strawberries on. I had to take it out and expand the strawberries. My strawberries were nuts.
Oh,
I
really?
bought some where I'm at. It's real high clay, but about an hour south of me, I brought in. I brought in probably about 15 yards of sandy loam soil and put it there, and the strawberries loved it with some peat moss mixed in with it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
And those darn strawberries were like vining out over the tire and getting on the ground and taking off across the ground. And
Getting it.
yep. So I ended up going through and digging a bunch of those up and giving them to different people that wanted plants and everything. That's what I was telling you about, Emerald. I wish I could send them there and have them survive because, God, I have a crap load of them.
Oh, wow. Right. Right.
I have to thin them out every year so they don't choke each other out.
Well, I sure would, if there was a way to do it, that would be awesome because I actually want to build some grow boxes to put them in.
Mhm.
Like planter boxes.
Yep. I tell you what, those old tractor tires, the real thick ones, that's when you lay them down, they stand about 2.5 foot high. The real thick ones. I take my Sawzall and I cut the ring out with the that goes down around the wheel. I cut it out from the outer edge on the top and the bottom, lay it down. I paint it with either bright red or bright white, some real high gloss paint that'll somewhat reflect the heat and everything. And I just build it up and it works good in the garden. I don't use it in the yard, but works perfect in the in the garden.
Oh, wow.
And they're free.
That's free. Yeah.
That's the best part about it. You go to some of these tire
free?
places and they're like, God, please take it.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yep. I hauled off probably because I did a bunch for my cousins too. I bet you I hauled off 20 of them on a big flatbed trailer and they even helped me load them. They're like, if you're gonna take, because they said they cost them $100 or better, because a small tire costs you $5 to have it recycled. They said to recycle them, those big tires cost about $100. And I go down there, get them for free, and then all I got to do is get rid of the rings, which one of my cousins was planting a row of trees and use those rings to go around every place he planted a tree.
Oh wow! Right.
So I didn't even have to pay to get rid of those rings.
The rings. What do you mean?
After I cut the part that goes around the wheel, I cut it out so I get a bigger surface area.
Oh
of the
yeah,
tire.
yeah.
Yep. And then that way is all I have is that outer ring, and I just use a Sawzall with a wood blade, but it's got the fewer teeth in it. It's one of those wood bimetal blades that'll cut
Yeah.
through like nails. Yep, those work the best.
Yeah.
And like it takes like 2 or 3 minutes to go around the whole thing, but that's thickle. I mean, that rubber coming out of there, it's like an inch thick, inch and a quarter thick. So
You take it off, UFO?
No, I had typed that at the top of the hour. I'm taking off.
Oh, okay. Okay.
15 minutes. I haven't eaten anything all day. I'm starving.
Right. Yeah, I need to go too because I've got a big day tomorrow. I'll be finishing up the garden before it rains, and I got to dig in all the blueberry bushes, and I've got to set up for. I got to plant potatoes and onions, and hopefully get some of the pier points set for the greenhouse around the garden. That way I can get the last rows in.
did I chase Dawn off?
No. Nah, he was
Don comes and goes as he pleases.
yeah.
Right up.
But yeah. He's all excited though. He's got his solar system coming together, man. He's feeling the power build up. Yeah.
There.
There
There
we
he
are.
You didn't chase me off. I'm here. I just
Yeah.
here and occupying a spot that I'm not really doing anything in. So, dude, I'm listening to you with great intent.
Cool.
You didn't run me off. I'm in the chat now. Do you mind? That's cool. Is that all right?
No, that works. I was just making sure I didn't bore anybody too much. My days aren't
good.
too lively.
Yours is like mine. Not exactly the most excitement people can possibly have in their lives, but
Right.
I try to manage. I live a boring existence.
I like boring. I really do.
Does anybody know? I'm sorry.
Nope. I'm gonna slip away. Maybe I'll say this time that I'm gonna slip away instead of just
Well, hold on.
slipping away.
Hold on.
Okay.
Does anybody know if Oz won or that other guy?
Sorry,
I think the other guy.
Wow. I didn't even keep up with what was going on.
Hey, Huckleberry's PA. Huckleberry, you heard which one won it yet?
Oh, everything I'm seeing now says it's too close to call.
Oh,
And-
the PA race?
Yeah.
I had heard exactly the same thing. Too close to call.
Well, so far, Trump is 75 supported candidates won their primaries, and one didn't.
They said they couldn't find one, then they found it. McCormick and Oz, yeah. Do we have a winner in that yet? Trump, I heard that Trump told Oz or advised Oz to go ahead and declare himself the winner and, make the other guy sweat. It didn't sound like a bad idea. But what do I know? All right, I'm going to slip off here. You guys have a wonderful evening. I'll be in chat.
Hey, you too, Don, man.
Peace out,
Thanks
Don.
for coming back on.
Call me if you need me. You know how to, call me if you need me. Later, kids.
Right. Brother. But yeah, no, I was just like 75 and 1 so far.
Nice. Miriam said I abandoned y'all. I swear I've been getting in a crap load hours. So I'm actually I'm on days off, or well, basically my vacation is working on my yard, trying to get it finished up.
Right. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, dropping a big old American elm with a 2.5 foot trunk on it is a little intimidating.
Yes, it is. It is a little intimidating. It's a lot intimidating. When that's something that hits the ground and you feel it.
It almost shook the ground when it hit. The one in the front, thank God, it's still alive. I'm going to have a professional trimmer come in and get it. That thing's got a 4-foot trunk on it.
Oh my God.
And I swear to you, it's a big American elm and it's old. It's just, that thing is so tall. If it came down on my house, it would probably catch a corner of my house plus hit the neighbor's house.
Wow.
That's funny. My mom was just talking about a tree that's like 100 feet tall out where she works. And I took a picture earlier of a big ass tree that was like, it had this huge knot. Like, I don't even know how big, but like, it's the biggest knot in a tree. It looked like a head. Like, the tree was definitely making me trip balls. So I just stopped and took one of those nighttime pictures, man. I was like, oh shit.
We've got some trees around here. They're called the tulip tree, and I don't know what the actual name is, but they call them a tulip tree. Some of those get like up to 120 foot tall.
Oh yeah, we have them here in Ohio. They are their own species.
Yep.
They have a distinctive leaf that actually looks like a tulip plant, tulip flower.
Yep.
They grow very, very straight.
Yeah.
Tall and straight, and their prime use, people use them for telephone poles. All the electrical utility companies across the country, probably about 95% of their new poles that they use are made out of tulip trees.
Oh, wow.
It makes sense because those things literally, they just go straight up.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're known for.
And they are massive. Our biggest problem with them around here is the roots don't go real deep.
Yeah, they topple over pretty easily.
Yeah, sometimes if they don't have a big old pine tree, and we've got a lot of the Colorado blue spruce around here, and they get pretty monstrous too. And if there's not a line of those blocking the wind, you'll see them down every so often. And a lot of the towns around here, they won't let you put them in because if they come down, they're taking out a few lots.
Yeah.
Just no matter what, man, just don't touch the monkey.
Right. Don't touch the monkey. Fire
what are you guys talking about?
Motherfucking bowl.
Fire in that motherfucking bowl. all around the world. Fire in the
Brought to
hole.
you by Sausage Gravy Biscuit Farms.
.com.
.com.
For all your hemp smoking cracker ass needs.
Hell yeah.
I'm catching hell in chat.
I noticed. I worked so
I'm-
many hours, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. That is
Could you be a bigger bitch? Fruit gum. I don't know where this came from. It's the back says. Seriously, I really hate you. That's some old school shit. Where the fuck did this come from? I don't even know. Somebody gave it to me. I'm loving this new Seiko. Well, it's 1986 with the alarm. It's got an alarm built in. I'm sure you guys have seen those.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I got this
Yeah.
thing. These
Yeah.
things are selling for like at least 100 if you could even find one. And I got it on eBay. I won a bidding for like 30 bucks. I won this thing for 30 bucks, dude.
Oh, wow.
And I go looking around, man. You can't even. Man, and I could resell this thing for 150
Nice.
easily.
Oh,
It's
that's
got a
awesome.
brand new fucking crystal, not a scratch on it. That's what really surprised me.
Yeah, Brian. It's not so much that it's from Virginia necessarily, but your grow zone. Okay, go by the grow zone. You should be able to find it on a Farmer's Almanac site or
Just Google USDA growing zones, and it'll
yeah,
pop
there you
up.
go.
You'll see they
Right.
have the whole country mapped out in different zones.
And
And if
it'll
you're-
tell you what the best trees for your area is.
And if you're right on a line, go to the lowest one, because if you're close enough to that line, you're not going to grow anything in the higher one very well. It's going to be hit and miss.
Yeah, I'm right on the edge of zone 4 and 5.
Same here. And we've got we're like into 5 a little bit, but there's this funky right in the middle of the 5 here. There's this like bean shaped 4 zone that I'm right in that.
Yeah, there's
Spot, right
microclimates
on the edge.
everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
To where if I get stuff that's for 5, half of it'll grow, half of
You cut out, I think.
Yeah.
if I go to stuff that's just strictly zone 5, it's hit and miss. Like sometimes half of it'll grow, half of it won't.
Yeah.
That's my problem with the grapes right now. Is most grapes you find are zone 5, and I'm struggling with grapes.
Really?
Yeah. I've got out of 16 plants, I got 2 left.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not cool.
No, there's a type of Concord that grows really well here, but they're real small grapes, and is all you can use them for, which is all we use them for anyways. It's like jellies and stuff like that, but they produce a lot of clusters, but the clusters are only 3 inches long and 2 inches wide. So I mean, they're real small grapes.
Right.
Yeah, we have
And I
something
think I'm-
similar in my area. Actually, I got them. They're a creeping vine on the side of my barn.
Yep.
We get the little purplish grapes at the end of the year, but they're so small you can't really do nothing with them. The birds get to them usually first, and then they just shrivel up, and they make good, decent raisins. I've eaten them like shriveled like that. They make a tasty raisin.
If you get to them in time, they make amazing jelly, and they make amazing syrup. And the girls make syrup. They do the same process as they do with the jelly, but they stop it early, or they don't put as much as something. I don't know quite how they do it, but they make
That's
a
all new
syrup
to me.
and oh, that stuff's awesome. They make cherry syrup and grape syrup.
Oh wow, cherry! I'd love to try some of the cherry.
Oh,
I miss
it's
the cherry tree that we had over here when I was a kid.
Oh, I
This
had
one,
one.
it was strange because like it was just the female tree. There were no other male trees anywhere in the neighborhood that we could find, so we don't know how this thing got pollinated every year. But it was me and my sister would climb that tree and just pick for hours.
Oh, I
and
had
fight the
crab apple
birds.
trees. I didn't have cherry trees. It was
They got
crab apple.
pollinated by the bees. They
Yeah,
got pollinated by the bees.
and then when I was about 8 years old, it got hit by lightning and died.
No shit.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Hey, did you guys see the blackberry patch that I took on my last video? Did you see my blackberry patch?
Nah, I'm gonna have to sit back tonight and catch up on your videos.
Yeah, I
It was
gotta catch up on
badass,
this shit.
dude. Hold on a second. Let me see. I'm just afraid I'm gonna crash my browser. Hold on a second. I might. I'll be right back if it does. But yeah. But I've been propagating this blackberry patch for the last 3 years, and oh my god, the blooms on it are just gone berserk. It's in my watering path on my sprinkler for the garden.
nice.
And it's a 12 by 12 area just off the garden, and I've been transplanting all. You wind up seeing all these little blackberry starts everywhere, right around here, because it grows just crazy wild. And then I've been digging them up when I know I'm going to be tearing up the ground anyway. I'll dig them up and I'll just put them over there. You know what I'm saying? I've been propagating this patch. And let me share my screen now. It came up and it didn't kill me yet. So here we go. But yeah, this is the garden. There's my trailer. And we've been running the mulch into the garden.
Nice.
I did a bunch of planting today, just direct seed planting, but I've got all the starts from the start table. Most of those put in there. There's the rest of it. That's it.
Very well. Nicely laid out.
This is the
You're
black.
doing a
Look
damn
at the
good job.
blossoms on that thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's gonna be insane, dude.
Is it almost like you have too much room to work with sometimes?
No. You got to limit yourself on what you can do, though.
I'm sure it is kind of limited too, though.
Because most of it's so forested here. I mean, it's wild forest where I live.
And then just getting to it, if you have to
You have
go
to reclaim.
away.
You have to reclaim the land, and it takes a year to reclaim.
Just the root systems and stumps alone is a workout.
Yeah. Right.
That's
But
pretty.
look at all those. And there's so many. There's honeybees in here. There's lots of honeybees in this. So I am going to be able to capture a rogue hive. I guarantee.
I just
I got some mimosa trees in this mix that I got to get them out of there.
I just
You said-
gave my Toro rear tine to my sister, Brian. Yeah, rototillers. Right now, I just got the regular front tine and then the weeding one, that little one that's like with a little weed eater on it. I just didn't have the garden for the rear tine anymore.
Right. Well, yeah, my garden is so it's as big as I it's a lot. It's twice as big as I need. But I want to try and see what I can do as far as mass production out of this thing, so I can hit the farmers markets and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So if I can, I mean, man, I know what I brought in last year, and I didn't have half of what I've got in it this year.
Yeah, you
So-
got to get out there and be vocal when you go there and try to sell yourself, I think, in this day and age.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
just
gonna
a
go with
little. Not,
Emerald City Farms. That's what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
it's a little catchy name, and
yeah, that's
I'll
great.
make a
That is a
nice
catchy
little
name.
poster, or maybe do it on a flag or something, so I can post it up, like a banner.
And I don't know how it is there, but here, farmers markets, there's very few times people leave with anything. They sell out so fast at those farmers markets. It's insane.
Right, because we don't use chemicals. Everything's
Yep.
naturopathic. Yeah.
Yep.
Huckleberry says it's a sexy garden.
Get your sexy garden on.
You've got it
Alrighty,
lined up.
folks.
Nice.
I'm taking off. You all have
All
a
right,
good night.
canoes.
All right,
Hey,
take care.
brother, have a good night's rest, man.
See you tomorrow.
Dream well, brother. I'll see you tomorrow.
You know it.
Tomorrow. I still got 2 more elm trees and a Russian olive to cut down tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Using
Yeah.
Yeah.
what are you using to cut them?
Just my Husqvarna chainsaw.
Okay, well, that's better than a lot of things.
Yeah, Rusty. Emerald City Farms. Yeah.
I gotta check out the chat. Is anybody even over in the chat anymore?
Yeah, there's Huckleberry,
people
Rusty
running.
Grabber, Diesel is up there. Miriam's still around. Max is back there somewhere.
Max, get to the chopper. We don't have time.
But man, you see this row right in the middle there,
Yeah.
right here? That's
Yeah.
all beef steak and super steak tomato plants.
What do
This
you
whole-
use for them? What do you use for them wire wise? I ended up getting some of that welded wire fencing, the 2x4.
Well, yeah. Hold on a second. Let me go back over here.
They go up the chicken wire better, but it's so hard to clean out that I'm trying some of that 2x4 welded wire this year.
Well, I think I got a better shot of it on another video here. Hold on. Let me go back. But I use the cattle panel,
Okay, so similar thing. Actually, that's probably what
but I
was
make an
doing.
archway. Right. Let me go back.
Oh,
again.
that's right. You get them to where they go up and over.
Yeah. Let me go. Let me see. That would be. Oh, yeah.
Do I look like I only sleep for an hour a night?
I went almost a month there where I was lucky to get 6.
Do you see that? There it is.
Yep.
That's the archway. It's actually 28 feet long archway.
Nice.
The archway.
And I got the
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I got the sprinkler. Yeah, I got the sprinkler mounted on top of it, right? I only need one sprinkler to hit the whole damn garden.
Nice. It
See,
just like turns.
the
No, it just
long
goes back and
reach.
forth.
Yep.
It goes back and forth.
And that's what I'm thinking of trying to do on mine, getting some of those 360 heads that'll just spray like crazy. to where I
Oh,
can
you
do
got
like
it
a
up high
4
enough
zone.
too. He's got it like 12 feet high, right?
Yeah,
No,
and
it's
see
a,
mine, I would mount on, you know, on a post or something that stuck at least 6.5 foot high, and just that way I could just go with like a 4 zone to do my whole yard instead of a freaking 12 zone.
right. Well, I stuck the trellis right in the middle of the garden on purpose. So when
Nice.
the entry doorway is going to walk right into the trellis kind of deal. And it's an archway deal. And once I built the greenhouse around it. So, it worked out beautiful, man. Because once I got the archway up, I put the up here, right there is the sprinkler. And if you notice, I had just got done when I took this video testing the spray on the testing the reach of the sprinkler, and it hit every row all the way front and back.
All
The
wet.
entire, just one sprinkler. I don't have to change anything out. I don't have to put no extra nothing. There's no plants that are going to get in the way of it spraying where it's going.
Oh
You know?
yeah.
And that's actually about 8 foot high.
Yeah.
There was a guy here, one of the farmers, he goofed up on his order, and for $150, I bought, that variable black pipe for a sprinkler system. I
Yeah.
bought 500 foot of the 3/4, 500 foot of the half, 250 foot of the 1/4 inch, and then that weeping. I've got almost 1,000 foot of that real tiny hole weeping for drippers and stuff, and I paid him $150 for it. Got like $1,000 worth of pipe.
Oh wow.
Got
Wow.
$150 for what?
It's that black for like underground sprinklers, that black pipe.
Pex.
Basically,
Okay.
yeah. It's just
It's
the black.
Pex.
Yeah.
Yep.
I gotcha.
And now I'm trying to redesign it because the design right now is a 12 zone, and the biggest timer I can find is a 10 zone. So I'd have to do a double timer.
Split.
Oh wow. Well, there's no timer on this, except for me timing it, because I have to start the generator to run the well to water the garden. So
That's where you
I
use
see.
one of these little Casios with the split timer in it. This thing
Right.
is
See,
bad, dude.
I-
It's got memory. It can record a bunch of shit.
We have water usage restrictions every year. So in town, so I have to have on a timer because everybody starts watering their lawns at like 7 o'clock. So I try to do everything at 5 o'clock. So I got the pressure.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Right.
makes sense. It's not as though it's like California there, though. I mean, y'all desperate like that?
We're a small town, so is what it is. It's the rates,
Small town.
the
right?
electricity rates. Yeah, they're trying to keep the electricity rates down. So we all
And that's
kind of,
what I was thinking in my head. I was like, I didn't want to say that, but yeah, I get it. I get it.
yeah, just trying to keep the cost down, and we all understand. So we kind of, it's not a set in stone policy.
It's a
We just all
communal
follow
like
it.
honor system,
Yeah, yep,
We know better than to fuck around and
Yep.
screw it all up.
Now you just got to file it in the other garage out back, right?
Dang, Emerald, what are all
What?
those?
Spicy tomatoes.
Nice.
Huh.
I put my tomatoes, I put my peppers, I've got half of my garden planted, and we're supposed to get a freaking freeze Friday and Saturday.
Oh
No
no.
way.
Plastic,
Really?
plastic, buddy.
I don't believe that. I think they'll get through it. I think they'll tough it up.
I've just like what Emerald said. I even bought some of those big old the tree bags to put my trees that are like getting up to 8 foot tall and stuff in,
Oh wow, right.
just to try to cover everything. And we're supposed to get their possible blizzard conditions.
They got that 10-pole stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, good deal.
Yep. And it's real cheap plastic, but I need it for the heat. It's not like it's going to get hailed on. It's almost like cellophane. I mean, it's real cheap and real. It's not going to take an impact at all, and it's only going to last one use. But it's.
Hey, get this, man. I was filling up the last rows, getting all this set up, right? And I noticed, oh shit, I shut down the tiller and pulled it out of the garden. I was like, oh shit. And I started looking through it, and I'm like, I pulled out 16 volunteer starts of watermelons, man.
Oh, wow.
I had like 16 starts. Or I pulled out 16 of the best ones. There's still like 15 or 20 of them in there.
I was going to ask. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Finish what you were saying. You were about to finish something.
Oh no, yeah. I pulled out. There's 3 different types of watermelons. I just don't know what kinds that I got, but I tried to get from the sections that I thought were the different ones with the sugar babies and jubilees and summer
So
melons.
you planted them, you just don't remember which one's which.
No, this is leftovers from last year.
Oh, we're coming back, yeah.
Yeah, volunteers, man. I was like, didn't you have to start no watermelon seeds? They started themselves right out of the garden.
Rusty, some of these towns, they do have fines. We don't, because it's kind of an honor system. You just kind of get a scowl from your neighbors because everybody else is doing it. But I know the town about a half hour west of me, they can get $1,000 fine for watering their lawn if it's between, because they're not allowed to water between noon and 7.
Oh wow.
Is drip line even illegal? Or can they even lay a drip line? I mean,
It depends on how
probably
much it's
depends if
consuming.
it's like commercial or if, you can't just.
Because they go off of water usage. They'll check it at the end of the month if you've got a large water usage. Like you don't even, during the summer months, you don't even want to have a leak somewhere because they'll nail you.
Oh wow.
What's that? I like the white flowers.
Blackberry.
Oh, really?
That's a blackberry patch, about 12 foot by
I was
12
wondering
foot.
what that was too.
Holy crap, that's a patch.
And I was going to ask you, pertaining to the tomatoes, you said spicy tomatoes. I'm just new to this. Like, how do you grow them already spicy?
Well, let's see. The spicy tomatoes, the names are OMG, Michigan
Do they
Hall.
cross like jalapenos into the seeds? I mean, like what?
No, dude.
How do you
It's
make it grow spicy?
Marley's Gift, OMG, Michigan Hulk, 9-pound hammer, and stuff like that.
Huh? That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, but I've been propagating this patch for about 3 years now. Yeah. And I'll pull like out of the yard or out of the areas where I know I'm getting ready to tear up ground and stuff like that. And I'll take those little baby blackberry plants and I'll put them over there in the dirt, because you can't kill them. And they grow wild here like crazy. So I was just like, okay, well, we'll make a little patch here. And what's really cool is when the wind's blowing from the south, all those blackberries get watered with that sprinkler system I got on here.
Nice. And that's Rusty was just talking about that. It's a never-ending process with those underground sprinkler, and and that's why right now I'm operating off that 6 zone I've had for a while, and I'm constantly repairing it. And that's what I'm thinking. God, if I put this in again, I'm going to be redoing it. I like your idea of having that top, the long reach, and just, you know, for an hour each, just 4 zones. Run it all off of 4 zones.
Huh.
And I'm bad about, I like lines and squared off everything. Kind of like, obviously, like Emerald likes, everything's got to be in a line, everything's got to be set up. And I noticed your garden, and it just so everything's pretty well squared out to where it should work.
Nice.
What's wrong with keeping it numerated? Because I mean, it's all about, especially because you live in a place that's not even got a lot of room to work with, so you got to really,
Right.
you know, keep it together.
When you're in town, like where Emerald's at, Emerald could do a full blown orchard. When you're in town, you got to pick and choose. And I suggest at least a 3-in-1, if not a 4 or 5-in-1 type of tree, fruit bearing tree, and get the dwarfs, not the semi dwarfs, because the semi dwarfs will still hit 40 foot. So I found that out the hard way.
Right. Unless you manicure them. Now you can top them, and when once you top them, they'll bush out from there. But you have to top them.
Yep. At my old place, I had a 40-foot dwarf apple tree, or semi-dwarf apple tree, and that thing was like 40 foot tall. It's like I could not get the apples off the top of that darn thing. I just had to wait for them to fall.
Right.
An apple tree would get 40 feet tall.
40. Oh yeah, full size. Some of those full size apple trees, like that Emerald's putting in, these things will get 60 foot tall, 70 foot tall. Parent apple trees, they'll get big.
No, I can't reach the top of that bastard. I'm grabbing my 12-foot A ladder. You know what I'm saying? I grab my 12-foot A ladder and I'm clipping the top of that bitch. Yeah, Rusty, that was a dwarf. Some of the Red Delicious and stuff like that, they get to be monsters. But you guys ever see Back to Eden Gardening? He's got trees that actually he manicured them and cut them back so that they spread out at ground level. Everything they grow, he can grab just being on his feet.
Huh.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty crazy looking.
That's pretty masterful.
Right.
That's what I like about these dwarfs. The last full dwarf I got to be about 20 foot tall. It was too tall. But these, they guaranteed me they're only supposed to get 12 to 15 foot tall. So,
right.
So, and they give out that 12 to 15 foot canopy too. So, I mean, that's a lot of my backyard, even in the areas that where I'm taking out these big elms, they're just too much to take out. And now that, I'm 45, in another 15 years, I'm not going to be wanting to take down a big old tree. So all my trees are smaller trees that are going in to where I still get a canopy, but they're not going to be hard to take down. I'm going to have like at the most like a foot trunk to take out. So,
well, I tell you what, I've seen some amazing things done with trimming on fruit trees. That once they get to be about, I think the guy said once they get to be about 10 years old, at the height you want them to be, you cut them back about 2 foot all the way around. You cut them back about 2 to 3 feet. Take off all the branches. You take off all the leaders you don't want, and then you turn around and you cut it back 3 feet at 10 years old. And what happened? What happened to those trees in 5 years was like within 3 years. Well, the next year it grew back. It started growing back new leaders and stuff and reshaped the tree. But every one of those branches that regrew after the hard trim was just laden with fruit. It was wow.
plus Plus, and then when you do those trims, you get some growth hormone, mix some of that with water, put those trimmings in the water, and when it starts rooting, plant it, and you can get another tree out of it.
Correct.
I'm having a lot of fun doing that right now. It's real interesting, actually, with the trimmings.
Oh yeah,
And
you can do that with all the branches. All the branches.
Yep.
If you wanted to.
Yep.
All the trimmings.
It's amazing because in a week, putting them in pure water, and I was doing it wrong at first. I was trying to plant them right away. And if you put them in pure water for about a week after, mixed with a little bit of that growth hormone, you'll start getting those little roots coming out of every little nub and everything. And then you put them in a real softly packed topsoil for another week or two, and then you plant them. So after 2 to 3 weeks, you've got a ready to plant little tree.
Yep. 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 And it'll already have like a 2 years worth of growth on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to do that with these thuja, the ones that I lost my ass on. I still got 3 little ones trying to stay alive, but there was 20 of the 4-foot tall ones that I paid $119 for last year each. I lost all 20 of those.
Oh shit.
And I had 10 of the smaller ones that I just paid the $30 for, and there's only 3 of those still alive.
Yeah, that 5-in-1 that you just destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm telling you, grab the branches.
Yep. Already got them in some hormone mix. Yep. Yeah. As soon as it did it, like within about a half hour, I had those in one too. I'm like, I'm not losing these. I don't care if I end up with 5 trees. I'm not losing them. So,
you might even be able to graft them onto the stump that's left from the tree.
Yep, the original. And it's actually there's still the wounds where they got stripped off of. So.
Oh wow! So all you got to do is secure them in place.
Yep.
Yep.
But I think I'm going to go ahead and try to plant them actually, and let that one come up on its own, just as a Jonathan Red, and it's a dwarf, and all of these are dwarfs. So I think I might just end up with a crap load of apple trees.
Rock on! Yeah, I was gonna say it's not all lost.
No, it was sickening when it happened, but after I did that, I was like, okay, we can make a victory out of this.
Yeah, no shit.
Shadow Man's killing me over here. Because he keeps on using the equal sign.
Oh, animal meat equals rich only.
He said something earlier, so he's on a roll.
Rock on.
Shit, I got to work all these extra hours to be able to stock my freezer up every month.
Dude, chickens, rabbits. I got 40 rabbits. I got 40 baby rabbits ready for sale.
Nice.
Yeah. And I got to start selling them.
Got to take them out, or just go out and. How do you get rid of bunnies? I mean, you got to advertise for them. Put them in some paper.
You take them to a farmer's market and you just get a spot.
Take them up there.
Right. Okay. Take them to a farmer's market and they sell $20 a piece all day long. I probably won't come back with one.
Oh, this little town, I told you it was getting really crazy with the building codes, and they're trying to make it like a big city. The younger guy that was on the city board that was trying to get it to where everybody could build like they used to and everything, like pole barns and stuff like that. He ran for mayor and he won. So he's getting it all changed around.
Oh, really?
Yep. He's like 28, 29, and he's getting it all swapped around because he can overrule a lot of those people now. And he's the good one to work with. He was the one that everybody liked to work with because the others would just him all around, and he gets it done quick. Like within a day or two, you got a permit, you're okayed for it.
Right.
And yeah.
Nice.
I just want to get out and live on the land, man. I keep fantasizing about just doing something besides my day in, day out job, fixing people's watches.
How big of a lot do you have around your house?
I mean, there's an acre of land here on a corner house, and we got a she shed and a workshop back there. The backyard is kind of small, but I mean, it's manageable. There's plenty of, work zones for growing stuff or whatever. The
If you
front
design
yard,
it,
of course.
if you design it right, you can do everything you need to do in
Yeah.
that acre. You can do a lot in that acre.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And see, there's certain things like hedgeways and stuff like that. They don't have to be, Japanese yews. They could be peach trees or apple trees or pear
Just random
trees
shit. Yeah.
or what have you.
Like wayfair.
Don't just make it random. Fancy it up. You've got 2 cherry trees on, you take one at each end, and then you put the pear trees, and then the plum trees, and then you know what I'm saying? And they'll start blooming at different, in the spring, your place looks like amazing, right? Because there are all the blooms and stuff like that. And then throughout the summer, you're picking fruit all day, all the time.
Somebody will be picking fruit for me because they're the ones that are probably going to profit.
You want a ground cover for your flower garden? Strawberries. And bushes, instead of using those stupid ass.
I'm talking
Right,
about, man.
bushes.
That's why I bought this strawberry Mike's Hard fucking lemonade shit.
Right. So instead of putting in these random hedgerow nothing bushes, put in blueberries. Put in you can put blueberry bushes in. You can put black tea bushes in, so you could make your own tea.
Half of my privacy hedge is raspberries, goji berries, and josta berries. That's half of my privacy hedge. And the neighbors love it because I tell them anything that's on your side, just pick it, because I got more than plenty. So they're all okay with it.
Right. Talk about a barrier.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you ain't getting through those things. They get so thick.
Right.
And once the blueberries start coming in at the end of it, it's going to be that much thicker. So,
but yeah, you can all those useless plants that are just seemingly decoration. That's all they're for, is decoration and creating oxygen. You know what I'm saying? They're just there to look good. Well,
But
you can do the same thing with plants that'll produce food.
the even like on my mom's lot, she's got a 30 by 60 yard that's decorative, that's for entertaining and decorative. On my lot, I've got a 30 by 30 yard that's decorative. Everything else is growing something to eat. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a lot of learning as I went. A lot of stuff had to be replanted, moved around, and everything. But now I finally got it to where everything fits. It has its place, and it's fit in its best spot to where it does the best.
Cool. But you're feeling positive on that end.
Yeah. These trees, once I'm done with these trees, the one that I just took down and then one of them that I'm taking down tomorrow have been almost completely dead for a couple of years now. There's just been a little bit of life that I've been trying to hang on to on them. Getting those out of there, getting the stumps ground, that'll gain me so much ground.
I mean, you work a lot too. You're not there like on the farm, like Wiz, that's like his job, compared to.
I wish it was. I would actually love that, because that's a labor of love there. It's not just going
But it's
out.
also strenuous, and it's kind of like driving for Uber full time. You don't know what's going to come next. I mean, it's definitely a freelance type of thing.
And driving the cement truck, I probably don't make as much as y'all think I do. I mean, it's over 20, but not a lot over 20 an hour. But
and that doesn't cut it these days. I mean, the gas prices and whatnot.
Yeah. The part I make a lot of that make pretty good money on is when I do the metal roofing and metal siding.
You can make, money on the side, or tips from like me doing the Uber on the side. That's the only way I can make ends meet, to be honest. It just pays for my gas. It pays for that weekly money that I need just to live on. And then my paycheck pays the bills, personally. But
Right.
yeah, everybody's got their
That's the
role.
same. I was the same way, man. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how little money you make. They've got it rigged so that that's the way you live.
How
Oh,
how old are
exactly.
you, Justin or Jason? How old are you?
38.
38.
Yes,
How close
sir.
are you to having your house paid off?
Well, we just moved into this house, but we pretty much have it to where it's about, I think, 70 grand that we owe just from a loan. Because we basically sold the house for way more than what we had originally bought. The other one was 90,000 when we got into it. We were, renting or leasing, mortgaging it. Sorry. Um, and basically, when we sold it, I guess it with taking the loan on the new house, something we got like money up front so we could take care of, things. You don't want to just be broke when you move into a new home.
Right.
But we're also in debt a little bit because of it.
Yep.
Because you got to have that money. I mean,
Yep.
even if it's a loan, and that's the bottom line is the loan at interest where you can't pay it off. That's what the non-private non-federal reserve is all about.
Well, and that's good. 70 grand isn't bad compared to most people. I mean, most people are a couple $100 grand into it. And I caught a lot of guff, in my early 20s. I was pretty wild, did all the partying and stuff like that. My mid to late 20s and through my 30s, I paid everything down. And that's what saves me right now is that I've got no payments. I mean,
And see, that's the thing. I pay my bills, even though I've racked up a lot from buying bullshit, either clothes or a new car or whatever I'm paying off. But I'm making all the bills pretty much on time. I'm making all my payments, and I don't plan on going and buying a bunch of more shit. That's the other thing.
here's the crazy part. I haven't financed anything for almost 5 years. And a person that has had all sorts of stuff financed and repossessed has better credit than I do, even though I've gone through, 20 years of paying everything down and getting it paid off and stuff like that. That doesn't count unless you're still paying it off. That's the only way. So basically, to me, the credit score is a pain because you got to pay to get your credit score up. So I know mine's taken a hit. I mean, in my prime, I was at the 785 mark, and doing real good with my credit. I haven't had anything financed for 5 years. I haven't even looked at it, but I was told that it's probably not great since I haven't financed anything in 5 years.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. But if you just had some cards that you open up and you just let them sit there and don't fucking burn them on anything, just let those cards chill. It's good to make a few purchases maybe and then pay it off real quick so it shows that you're making purchases that you paid for. But just having like 10 cards, I mean, I would say 10, but at least like 5, 6, 7 that you don't even touch. My friend did this and his credit score is ridiculously high. I mean,
see, about middle of last year,
just from showing that, yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Oh, I was just saying at middle of last year, I started doing that. I got a couple of cards and I just pay my utilities and stuff like that on it, and then pay my, use it for gas and everything. And then I've got to carry it for so many days to be reported. And then I just pay it off.
It's hard though if you're working class. I mean, my friend, he's working class, but I mean, like he was raised by some really good parents that, pushed him by the end. He respected them because some parents are assholes and they just push shit on you. But his parents were like pretty chill, but people just, they either get their shit together or they don't. And it's taken me a little longer than my buddy, and he's younger than me. Like I'm 38, he's probably 35 or maybe even no, yeah, he's about 35 or 36.
You just brought up something that I get a kick out of. When my nieces and nephews were all growing up, they always, every one of them, no matter which sister or which niece and nephew, they always, complained because, well, their friends got to do this, their friends got to do that, and they thought their parents were so strict. Now they're all in college or out of college, and now they thank them, because, I've got, well, like the one nephew, he's going to engineering school. He just completed his second year. He's got 2 more years left, and they're all getting out, going, getting good jobs and everything. And they've got friends that are working at Subway and stuff like that.
Right.
And, they talk about how strict their parents were, and now they thank them for it. When they were younger, they thought it was horrible because their friends got to do everything.
I grew up with a hippie family. I'm not going to lie. I mean, very Christian-like, very humble. And we're not party animals like in the, like, I don't know, hoe bagging type of way. Like, mom's not a crackhead or this or that, like Eminem scenario. You know what I mean? The fucking, just good people that are working class. I mean, like, there's so much that goes behind what we've been dished out over the last 100 years that even though the working class like us should be way better off in one way or the other.
Especially here in America.
Veterans, fucking homeless and this and that.
It's and that's one thing I tell everybody. Everybody's got their shot. You might have to bust your back to get that shot, but everybody still has a shot. The American dream is still alive. But I'm not going to deny that it definitely leans in favor of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, because the less you have when you start, you're going to have to work 100 times harder, but you got to have that mentality. You're going to have to work 100 times harder to gain the same amount that a person that was better off has to, it's harder. It's still there. It's just harder for some of us.
Yeah.
Right. When you can't hire a crew to come in and put in your greenhouse, you have to build that shit yourself.
Exactly. Well, that's the survive and thrive we're talking about. If the system goes down, a lot of people will survive, but how many of us will really thrive? Not many. I mean, and there's some of us that have, like, say, we got a solar flare, the system just shuts down and everything. There's some of us, I mean, Emerald, I know it wouldn't affect you. There's things that would affect me on, but I would still be fine, So.
Right.
Fire in the bowl of that, motherfucker.
Fire in the motherfucking bowl. Hell yeah.
And it's also brought to you by SausageGravyBiscuitFarms.com.
Yeah, it would affect me. If the solar flare situation, that wipes out certain electronics, it'll wipe out my laptop. It'll probably wipe out my car, with the car I have right now.
But you'd be fine.
Huh?
But you'd be fine in the long run. It wouldn't shut your life down.
Yeah, in the short term, it's going to be a hassle. But, if nothing ever came back, well, guess what? I know how to convert that vehicle, run on hydrogen. I know how to create hydrogen, and the solar flare is not going to wipe out my panels. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where that, I don't know if you guys seen that prepper show where they like judge different groups of people. Like, here's these people that are ready to bug out for this situation. And I saw one where it's like these homesteaders, they have like groups of people, and I mean, that's where
there's
you can't be guaranteed, even if you've got like a whole gang of motherfuckers that are backing your whole farm up and everybody's, locked, stocked, and loaded. I'm still saying, man, it's just This world is too fucking crazy, man.
Well, there's whole
I had a
communities
cousin-
down here just based on being self-sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You're one step ahead. That's for damn sure. But that one step ahead sometimes draws more evil towards you. If shit hits the fan, they're all going to be coming towards you.
Well, I had a cousin that at the same time I was wanting to build a log splitter, he wanted a log splitter. He went out and paid almost $2,000 for a log splitter, and it barely splits anything. It's just a single wedge. It barely splits anything. I went to a pull and pay. I've got a 20-horse motor instead of a little 5-horse like he's got. I got a 20-horse motor with a big pump and a big cylinder, and I have less than $100 in mine. And mine has a big enough axle on it to where I could tow it behind the pickup down the road. He could tow his around with his lawn tractor, but if he goes down the road, he's got to pick it up, put it in the back of his pickup, and go down the road. So mine's way more powerful, and
Efficient.
I've got 5% of what he's got.
Right. And you're way more efficient with it.
Yeah. And it's just that, everybody thinks they got to go out and pay for it or buy it new or this and that, instead of putting a little sweat equity in it. A couple of days is all it cost me. A little sweat equity, and I had a monster of a log splitter.
Right. I love getting into fucking. I need to go into like either arborist, like tree harboring, whatever you call it, arborist. That's
Arborist.
fun
Yep.
to me, man. My friend actually did that for a living. He works for construction now, but he was fucking. He trained me how to go up into a tree, and I know how to fucking like sling that rope because my dad even showed me all that shit.
Nice.
But even just the angles of bringing down a tree or this or that, man, I've studied it. I mean, it's up my alley. I love that shit.
I saved, no kidding, taking down this one today, I saved $1,000
Yeah.
because they were going to
Oh,
charge
yeah.
me $1,000 to take that tree down.
Yep. I'm telling you, man.
So
Things, if you can do it, man,
Yep.
it's one of those things where it can be real clean or it could go wrong real quick if you're not thinking.
yeah. Well, and like that branch with my apple tree, that was the least of my worries, because if I would have dropped it wrong, it would have gone across the street, hit my neighbor's car across the street, because it was a monster of a tree. I don't know how tall those American elms get, but I guarantee you that thing was all but 70 or better foot tall. And the one in my front yard is bigger.
Huh. Damn.
Yeah,
That's
that one
some
in the
big
front.
trees, boy.
Oh, that one in the front
Fucking
yard has a
trees.
4-foot. That one in the front yard has a 4-foot trunk.
Oh shit. Yeah, you were saying that. Like, are you living in California pretty much? I mean,
Colorado.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Way back when.
Yeah.
Boss ass trees over there too.
Yeah, way back when they really liked the American elm, and then we got that Dutch elm disease real bad here in Colorado, and it knocked out most of them. These towns used to be covered in elm trees. It knocked out most of them. The ones that made it are just got huge.
Hell yeah. Rusty grammar. That's a really good fucking statement you made there. I'm
That's
sure.
the guy to pump. Yeah.
He's on it tonight, man. I'm telling you. You
Right.
guys rock, dude. The fucking chat is rocking it out.
Oh, Emerald,
I'm glad
you will appreciate this. So I was at the pull and pay, and no kidding, somebody just dropped this off to be scrapped. So I bought it just for 25 cents a pound. But it's a 1965 Alice Chalmers lawn tractor, not the mower tractor, but the lawn tractor, a little bit bigger. It's like the micro tractors, bigger than a riding lawnmower, but smaller than a mid-sized tractor.
Yeah,
And-
like a 2-ton or something.
Yeah, and it's one of the B12s. They only made them in 66 and 67. They had two
Oh,
of them.
wow. Right.
Yep.
Guzzling gas, bro.
No.
I just bought one of them, and
B12.
I told somebody else about the other one. By the time then I went back to try to get the steering wheel because my steering wheel was bent. I was going to get the steering wheel before he made it over there. He must have been there right when it opened to pick that other one up because it was gone.
Oh wow.
Damn, son.
Yeah, but those B12s, and there's a Cub Cadet from the 60s that still has the Case International stickers. It has a Case International Cadet. They didn't call it the Cub Cadet yet. It's Case International Cadet.
Okay.
Those are two of the real collectible ones. That and these Alice Chalmers B12s. They made a lot of the B10s, but they didn't make very many of the B12s.
I keep hearing you say like Allison Crowley or some shit. Like that's like a
Alice
musician.
Chalmers. It's a tractor company. When the lawn tractors first started coming out, it was places like, you didn't have a lot of the Husqvarna motorcycle companies or things like that made them. It was mostly tractor companies that made them.
Right. Yeah.
It's not 2:45. Okay, it's 12:45. What the fuck is that? Dual time. Oh, that's the second time zone. Okay. It still is not at the right time. Tiny ass watch, man. I've kind of gotten into the sleek. Like back in the day, men wore like 18mm bands with these little tiny watches, or even smaller 16mm bands. Nowadays, people got to have, a 20mm to 24, or even up to 30mm wide band, just some big ass gawky Invicta, god damn.
You'd give me I got a big leather cuff for that's my watch band is a big leather. I got one of the
I like a few big watches here and there. Like I've got a titanium case one that's pretty big.
The last watch I wore was when I was, not exactly, but the last one I wore that I liked was a full armband kind of deal. Had a Velcro cover over it, and I could, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, similar to mine probably, but mine's leather and it's got a 2-strap.
Was this in the military?
4 inches.
In service?
It was from the military, yeah.
It wasn't like a digital watch, was it?
It was any watch I put in it.
Yep.
Oh, like the protected. We sell those. I have these police cover, or military even. They're just actually kind of cheap, but there's a nylon. Is it nylon?
There was one that was nylon, and the thing says he's got the leather one.
And it velcros over the top to protect it.
Yep.
Yeah, I sell them. I've got a few of those left still.
I like those. They just feel like it's beefier. There's more there to where you're not going to catch it and pop it off,
And you know what the other thing was cool about that? Is that it had a pocket on, mine had a pocket on the other side I could put the credit cards in.
Oh, nice. Yep. Nice. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that was badass. And I was like, I could go to the park with the kids. You know what I'm saying? I had my watch, all that stuff. I think at the time I had a Casio calculator watch in it, right?
I've still got one. I found one somewhere.
And and on the other side of it, it was almost like one of the military wallets kind of deal, where it had the pouch on the other side. Yeah.
You just reminded me. I was going to say a lot of military guys use the Suunto, Suunto. It's a Suunto digital watch that's all black, and it's what a lot of military guys prefer.
But I could put the key to the car and a couple cards in my wristband and take the kids to Six Flags, and that's all I had to carry.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying.
That's cool as shit.
The reason I got this leather cup is because I've got a Fossil, and I
love
caught
Fossil.
They're
one of the most popular besides Citizen, Seiko, or Bulova. Then there's Fossil. It just comes right in there.
I like them. They've always been good to me. And this one, but I broke the strap on it. They're going to charge me $60 for a new strap on that thing to have it replaced and repaired.
What?
And because it did something to where the pin goes in to the watch. But when I got this leather thing, it had a fatter pin and it holds in there better. So even though it cracked on it, it still holds it in.
I'm the master, dude. I could fix it up because you got the teeth on the end of the spring bars, and if there's a lot of play or anything, they can come out. Friction, this and that. So that there's a few ways to knock that out. One, you can put a hollow, barrel that holds the spring bar, and then that causes no friction. Or you can get the right type of spring bar that just doesn't have those teeth on the end, which makes it a lot harder to get back off if you ever want to take it back off. But there's ways to do that as well. I mean,
so
just have to have the right tool.
So a new band and the repair, $60. Is that
what kind of band are you getting on
it was
there? Or they
it was their one that looks like a paracord.
For $60, they had a paracord type band.
And the repair of that crack.
That's actually not bad. That's not bad.
Okay.
They're repairing of what now?
The part where the pin goes into had a crack on it. It popped it out to where the pins that they had just kept popping right back out. It kind of busted an end off of it. But the pins that came with that leather one were a little thicker, or they went in a little further to where my watch actually just sits in there. It holds in there just fine now. I've never had any problem with it. It's been about 8 months.
So somebody knows what they're doing then. They've been there, long enough to know.
Yeah. So they saved me money because I got this leather cuff for only $30, and that was with the pins. So
there's so much stuff that it would blow your mind what people don't know about a watch that have a lot of money. They don't know how to reset their tachometer. They don't know that their watch they think the big second hand is the actual second hand if it's a tachometer, chronometer watch. But you got your start, stop, and reset. I mean, it's basically a stopwatch, and people don't get that. And you're wasting more battery life if you leave it running because it's an extra feature. You're running a stopwatch now. And people don't know that small window, that little sweep, they call them, it's a bottom sweep, top sweep, the top right sweep, or the left sweep, has your day. It could have your military, 24-hour readout. It could have many number of little things that are pretty basic. You would think people know. And then I know how to reset them. So if they're offset, they stop over at 12, or not 12 o'clock, but they stop over at 10 o'clock or 6 or whatever. I can go in there and just, pull that crown out. You might tap on it and it's going to move, or if it's Swiss, sometimes the Swiss made, you have to hold both buttons. It'll reset that big second hand around one full revolution. And that means you're into the second hand reset. And then after that, you tap the bottom one and go to the next one. And then you set that one, which is your minute or your hour. And so it's all basic. Like today, I did a G-Shock that's ani-digi. That means it's analog and digital. And I had to actually go online and look at how to reset it. But I just had to hold the button 5 seconds instead of 3 seconds to get it into the right mode to do the H set, which resets the hands. You got to set them to 12 o'clock so that it will know which time zone to set. It just sets it up properly. You always put everything at 12 o'clock when you do a hand realignment. You take off the watch, the movement out of the watch, and you put the hands back on the dial because they're loose. Somebody pulled the battery out without holding down the movement, and it caused the fucking hands to come loose, and all the shit on the front just fell out.
What?
These fucking watch mechanics don't know what they're doing because them working on your watch is their practice.
Take care, Uncle Barry.
For at least a few years until they know what they're doing. But I try to train my guys,
See, everybody keeps telling me I need.
Sweet dreams, Huckleberry. Yeah, I'm about headed out too. I'm gonna be just a couple minutes here, man. We're at the top of the hour. I think we'll just bring her up.
Everyone keeps telling me I need to switch to a smartwatch, but my biggest my watch is one of those transparent where I
It's a
can see the
tracker
inner
watch.
workings.
Smartwatches is just a tracker watch. That's what I tell people. Like, you just got a tracker on your fucking wrist. You know, did you come out of jail? Are you on parole? You got this Apple fucking band on your shit. Like, yeah.
Well, and see, I like the workings of a watch. I like the internal work. That's my thing about
And
that. I
when you
like
look
about
at your
watches.
watch, there's a memory that you hold in your mind, whereas a smartwatch doesn't hold that memory or value when you look at it. It's just a fucking digital readout. That's why I don't like digitals compared to analog, because you look down at your fucking analog watch and
You know
there's a
why I
memory.
quit wearing watches? You know why I quit wearing watches?
Why?
Because all it would remind me of is that I was a slave to the clock.
Yeah, that's a good point. Point given, but there's a purpose. That time
I
doesn't
know.
have value unless you have a purpose for it. And if you're having to survive and live, you might need to, you know, set a value between two distances to make you get something in the end. That's what an alarm clock is. That's why you wake up in the morning. That's why everything goes 2 + 2 is 4, not fucking what they want
Whatever,
you to
right? Exactly.
I like my analog watch because anybody born after like 1995 doesn't know how to read it. They don't teach it in school anymore. So a lot of those younger kids will look at a regular clock and they cannot tell what time it is.
Indubitably. They don't know because they don't look at a signature. Is if you look at it as numbers, you're gonna fuck up. But if you just get a marker watch that has no numbers on it, just markers, then your brain thinks the numbers are there, and you look at them and you think, oh, it's 2 o'clock, it's 3. You know, markers like this watch, you know, you don't have to think, oh, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you've just got little tiny tack marks that read out. In your mind, it converts because you're like, oh, you see numbers in your head because you're thinking. And that's what makes your mind work, is just having value and like somebody's work. But it's the craftsmanship of the watch, really, that makes sense more than anything.
Yeah, but Rusty, I know you guys are all pro watch and stuff, but Rusty's got it right there. Rusty's got it right there. You know what? I can tell you what time it is by telling you where the position
Tool
of the
time.
sun is.
It's fucking tool time. Sorry.
No. I can tell you what time it is during the day for pretty close, actually, but position of the sun.
True.
I can get pretty close.
Exactly, and that's the point given right there that I would like to make. The sun.
My timepiece is
People wouldn't mark time
the
if
sun.
there was no sun. That wouldn't have ever happened. There would be no fucking time without the sun.
We actually had that conversation not too long ago, and I asked my nieces and nephews, we're all in the backyard. I was like, so when the sun is directly overhead, straight above you, what time is it? And it took forever. And then finally one of them says midday, noon, and just kind of like question answer, you know. I was like, yep. Yeah. I was like, so you guys like, so then you base it, you got to figure what time does it get dark this time of year and everything. Yeah. So then you just don't, you know, cut it into 8, and then you know when it's going to go past the horizon. So you got 8 zones basically that you mark out. So then you could get it within the hour at least.
Yep. Watch your shadow. All you got to do is mark your shadow.
Yep.
You are the dial. You are the dial. Yeah. Length of your shadow.
Yep.
That's a good
and
point.
All you got to really do is put your arm straight up in the air, and you've got the arm on your dial too. But it's just, they don't, if it weren't for like coming to my house or like my mom's house with my nieces and nephews, they thought it was the coolest thing because they could all read an analog watch. So they would go to school and they would have an analog watch and they could mess with their friends and stuff that couldn't read it. So that, you know, they thought it was pretty cool. They could read it. Nobody else in their school could because they just didn't teach them that. But they also didn't teach them how to count money. Right. They did that through us too. We taught them that here.
Or just count to 100. If you can count to 100, we're not even talking about money. If you can just fucking count.
They were taught everything in the digital age. Nothing they didn't, nothing by hand. Everything was leaning toward digital, to where it would be done for you. You didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Fucking, I do have a smartphone. The O2 tin cans.
Right. Yeah.
Piece of string, it keeps the bills down. That's pretty cool.
They need to go to one
It's pretty
time,
cool, Ragged.
get rid of the daylight savings, Rusty, but they need to wait until fall. Put it back to where it should be, to where the sun comes up earlier, or the sun comes up a little later and it goes down earlier. No, vice versa. It comes up a little earlier and goes down a little earlier. Because nobody's out there usually working till 9 o'clock at night. You're at home eating dinner at that time. But in the morning, you want to get up a little earlier. So this whole pushing it out that in the evening, the longer days, I think they need to wait till fall and put it back where it should be.
So you think they should fall back and spring forward, or do you think they should get rid of it altogether?
Get rid of it all, but wait until fall, after it falls back again. To where it gets dark in midsummer, it gets dark at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. But the sun's coming up earlier too, because most people start their days earlier. They really don't extend them at night. The reason a lot of that still even happens because it's useless. And they say it's for the farmers to be able to be out in the fields and everything. Farmers got lights on their tractors. Yeah, they're out there past dark and everything, but they got their lights on the tractor. The thing is, it's still going for right now is so all these rich people that play golf can be out on the golf course till 9 o'clock is what it's about.
Right. I was going to say, farmers don't give a shit what you call that hour of the day. If it's lit, it's work.
Yep. They would just get up an hour earlier to do it.
Yep.
It all has to do with those golfers that had a lot of money and paid a lot of politicians to get this all started up, and it makes no sense.
Yeah. You're such a good speaker about this, though. If you slow down, you're on point. Let me get that straight. You are on point. But I think if you lowered your octave, but speed rate of speech, what do you call that?
Oh, slow down as quickly as
not
I
even
say.
an octave though, like just a tiny cunt hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get riled up about that. That's
all right, guys. I gotta crash.
Not in like a Martin Luther King thing. I'm just saying, like, I love hearing what, especially even Ghost, man, when he comes in here, man, you guys rock. You guys all fucking kick ass, dude.
Oh, cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, I gotta head out too, guys. We'll chat with you later.
No homo, man. I know.
Jason, thanks for the combo.
Yeah.
Thanks
for coming up. Good to hear from you again, man.
I gotta get up early too.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys for calling it, because I do need to call it.
Ragged Coin, you have a wonderful day. Rusty Grammar.
Yeah, Ragged. Don't blow off that cliff.
Yeah.
You hang on for 5 more minutes, Wiz.
He's trying to get his ducks in a row. Rusty Grammar's trying to get his ducks in a row.
Hell yeah. Dirt bike.
Fill it up a bit.
Dude.
All right. Take care, guys.
Dude,
all right. Good night, guys. Dream well, Patriots, and we will see you tomorrow night. Have faith.